I didn't know a thing about farming. I still don't know very much about farming.
Becoming a farmer wasn't exactly Jason Brown's first career choice. In fact, it wasn't too long ago he was living his dream, playing football in the NFL. After an outstanding career at the University of North Carolina, Jason was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in 2005. He worked long and hard to become one of the best.
It's all about winning a championship. It's all about receiving that glory of attempting to get to a Super Bowl.
The hard work paid off, and in 2009, Jason became the highest paid center in NFL history when he signed with the St. Louis Rams. Now he had the life he always imagined. But while Jason was busy chasing his dream, he didn't notice it was affecting his family and his relationship with God.
From the average perspective, we were a perfect family. The financial security that we had at that time, it was something that would be desired by pretty much anyone. But yet, spiritually, we were dying inside.
Then, with only 2 games left in his 3rd season with the Rams, Jason walked into a meeting that changed everything.
My coach called me into his office and said, "You know what? We're going to bench you." And wow, it was such a humbling, situation where it completely blindsided me.
Jason was given no explanation, and at the end of the season, he was let go. He read the Bible, fasted, and prayed, looking to God for answers.
What the Holy Spirit was speaking to me is that, you know what, Jason, you really got it all wrong. Really, faith and family is supposed to be the foundation of your life, of your career. But yet, I had placed football up on a pedestal, the entitlements, the notoriety, the fame.
For the first time in his life, Jason questioned whether his future was playing football.
For me, if I were to choose to continue to play football, it would have to be within God's plan and for there to be a life of purpose. Because from that point forward, every decision that I made, it was going to involve God, and it was going to be based on faith and family foremost.
Later, in a meeting with the Carolina Panthers, Jason says God made that decision clear. They made him an offer that was hard to refuse, but he did, and walked away from the game he loved.
My parents, they were the ones that picked me up from the Carolina Panthers facilities, and they looked at me all bright-eyed. They say, "All right, so are you going to be a Panther?" And I said, "No, Mom, no, Dad, I'm not going to be a Panther." I just said, "You know what, you just have to trust me on this one because I'm trusting God." Then comes, "Well, what are you going to do, Jason?" All right? And to tell you the truth, God hadn't revealed that, to me in my life yet. I just knew that it wasn't going to be football any longer.
He found out after he moved his family to North Carolina.
God told me, "I want you to be a farmer."
So Jason bought a farm. He says God also showed him the purpose of his farm wasn't to sell food, but to give it away.
"I want you to feed my people," truly feeding God's people. And that's the purest way of sharing Christ's love.
Jason started doing research and getting advice from local farmers. 2 years later, he had his first harvest. It was far beyond his expectations.
It was simply the seed of faith, the small seed of me being obedient and actually starting the process. And then God did everything else. So I can really take very little to almost no credit for this wonderful and abundant harvest. All glory goes to God.
That year, Jason donated over 120,000 pounds of produce to local food banks. As Jason looks ahead to the next season, he says he's not sure how long he'll be farming. But he does know that whatever he does, he can trust God in everything.
I have no fears of what this next year will bring. I have no fears as far as what what the rest of my life will bring. As long as I'm doing my part, he's going to do the rest.